Hello and welcome to the Much Obliged podcast with myself, Kieran Lawless, the fantastic Dom Hatton-Woods, and our wonderful guest for the next hour, Mr. Alexander Camp.
Ooh,
Alexander,
yeah.
hello.
I'm here in the place. Are we calling me Alexander now? Is that what's going on?
I thought I'd start formal and then it would appear like we become friends as it goes on. And then
Good luck.
Oh, dear.
Good luck, mate. I mean, I'm not an easy nut to crack, I'll tell you that. To get to Alex, you got to cut down to Alexand, and then you got to go Xander, and then eventually you get down to the 4 letters.
And then what's after that?
Call you babe.
Al. Al is after that, or Ali, Prince Ali. It's up to you.
What about babe? Honey boo boo?
I'll take
Sweetie comes.
What does your girlfriend call you?
She calls. I'm not going to tell you that. I'm not going to share that kind of personal information.
She
so
called
soon.
Alexander. It is definitely Alexander.
Just because we're sat
She
on the
doesn't feel
couch
she knows him yet.
and I've got headphones on, doesn't mean that I'm going to open up to you.
I didn't think having headphones on would change your perception
It's
of
changed my perception. You should try it because it's really close in. Like you get the voice really close into you.
I'm sat next to you.
Put them on their Beats. Those are lovely headphones. Hey, mate.
There you go.
I just feel disconnect. No, I don't like it.
Okay, we'll forget about the headphones then.
Yeah. We'll
Oh, you can wear them.
Can I?
I don't care if you can wear them.
No, we'll try it like this. I think we're going to mix it up a bit.
think one
to be
Now
honest.
that we've
person
become
I'm pretty
way
sure
more.
one person has to wear them. I think that's a thing.
Is that a thing, is it?
Whenever I watch a podcast, one person's wearing them.
Kieran's
Yeah,
now
but-
wearing them around his neck like he's stopped
wouldn't-
off from a jog to buy a chocolate bar from the shop,
Yeah.
and he's giving you just a couple of minutes of his time
Yeah.
to do the transaction.
I'm doing this podcast as the kind of person that an old lady would be suspicious of on the street if she walked past me.
And then you take him
doing
down and you think that should fix it. She'll trust me now.
Do you want me to just every so often do this as if I have any fucking clue what I'm
You feel
listening
like a
for,
DJ.
or as if I could actually fix it if something was wrong?
I think
or-
it's fine. Maybe I'm being pedantic.
You are.
I am, and I apologise for that.
Is it now that we have the
Actually-
headphones off though a bit more informal? I could just call you Alex now. I know that we're not headphoning it up. We're not doing
It's
that.
not professional anymore. It's more of a cordial atmosphere.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm happy with that.
Well,
Don't worry about the big words. Don't worry about the big words, mate. You can look
Yeah.
them up later.
Young-
This would be a
young-
thing for you to do after the podcast.
homework.
Yeah, a bit of homework.
We have not shot a podcast yet where at some stage Dom hasn't gone, what does that mean?
Adam, no, he said blurt. You didn't know what that meant either.
To blurt.
No, that's
He said
true
the word
that-
blurt. Apparently means spunk.
Oh no, that's a Scouser thing.
Scouser thing. It's not a real word, is it?
I mean, but you got to work in the context. You got to work that out pretty quickly, surely.
Well, he called someone a blurt. I said, "What's blurt?" And he said spunk. And he just called someone semen.
What similarity did that person have to semen?
He stole.
But it used to be a semen.
He stole a drawer of pound coins from Adam. That's what he did.
But Jizz wouldn't do that.
No,
Yeah.
Jizz has one mission, and that is to get to the egg quick, get in front of the rest of them.
Maybe the guy was buying eggs.
Perhaps there was a bunch of other Scouser Scallies who were trying to get to the drawer of pound coins, and he beat them all to it. So it's like a sperm, like
Oh my
that
God.
that
I
won.
think we're overanalyzing Adam's poor vocabulary.
Yeah.
What's happening here?
I don't know
Alright.
that
No
it's
offense to Adam.
I don't even know that it's a sign of poor vocabulary, that he's just used a colloquialism of, like, that's fine.
No, it's strong, but I could see how you would blurt something out of your penis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you blurt something out suddenly, don't you, in the conversation that you didn't mean to say. And sometimes you just blurt out spunk, which you didn't mean to blurt out.
Yeah.
You know.
Both are quite socially awkward.
Yeah, and both can get you into a lot of trouble.
That's true.
But both kind of feel good after you've done it, and you get a warm sense of like, I'm glad that's out there.
I've definitely regretted both of those things happening.
Absolutely. And I'm known for doing both of those things.
Really?
Yeah, around and about. You know, he'll blurt it out. Alex will blurt something
Yeah.
out.
Interesting.
You mean words? Not necessarily.
Do you sometimes blurt out of your mouth when you're blurting out of your penis and you think, oh no, I've
I actually
failed.
got a bit crude a bit earlier on.
Sometimes I'm having sex and I'm about to come to the climactic point of the sex, and I'll go, I don't really love you, and I've mixed the blurts up, you know. And sometimes I'm come to a conversation, and there's something I want to say, and I just jizz in my pants.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, thanks for that.
Just riffing.
Yeah. Could happen at any stage in this podcast. Well,
Could blurt out a riff.
Japan?
Yeah.
Do you know that's not watched the first episode? They're going to be like, spunk in Japan. Where's the
Are we doing this? Are we conducting this like a proper interview this time?
No, I just didn't know what to say, so I just thought I'd say Japan.
So you blurted it out,
I
did
blurted,
you?
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. It's pretty bad form if we are planning to do it like a proper interview, and we've opened with what your dick does on a regular basis.
You could interview me. I do often ask questions with just the word and a question mark. I think
It's funny you were
not the
saying
most
that.
efficient way to ask a question.
Have you ever heard of a guy called Nardwar?
No.
Of course you haven't.
Nardwar? Question.
Nardwar is an interviewer who is in this weird kind of character where he's like really bonkers. He wears a tartan like Tam O'Shanter hat, but he's a Canadian guy. And he interviews nowadays mostly hip hop acts, but he used to talk to like rock bands and stuff. He's been doing it since the late 80s. And he just like says something to people. And I was watching him this morning, and that apparently a great interview technique.
Really?
Because you just say something rather than asking questions. You say Japan, and I'm like, oh, I used to live there. Wow, you brought that up,
It's just
Dom.
more broad.
Oh yes, I could tell you all about the fashions and the culture. And
I feel like he's stolen this from an episode of Father Ted. You know that episode of Father Ted where it's like, sometimes I like to just spring an idea on him, like women priests, and he'd have to go, I think very quickly, I'm in favour of them.
Maybe I'm just a really talented interviewer by birth.
you cut all the fat out, and you're just like,
Yeah.
word.
Question mark. And then you say it with a tone like Japan. You said Japan, but what the fuck? Japan? It's like
Shall I put
No,
some
but you
context
did
to it
do that.
now?
You did just go Japan. And you're
No,
like,
it said Japan because you got
No, you're right.
the high pitched at the end
You twinged
is a
it up.
question mark.
Shall I add some context to that for the viewer?
I like the way that not the questioner. The questioner doesn't have to add any of the context.
I could add some context. So I am a comic. I work around here in Manchester with you two, and that's how I know you. But I started doing comedy when I lived in Japan. I lived there for 4 years, and we talked about it on the previous episode, or the one before anyway, with the one before Adam's one, and we just kind of went off topic, didn't we?
But to be fair, it might not be released in that order though.
So it might be the next episode that we started
it might be the
talking
one
about
after.
this. So it might be the second episode that
Third. Might be this might be the fourth episode.
is this like the Marvel universe.
If you're watching this, it's the one that was released now.
Yeah.
If you were watching this, it's out.
I mean,
right?
there's no one watching this, is there?
Shut up. Yeah, there is.
Okay,
Yeah, there is. There's an editor who's going to cut it all
Yeah.
together.
Fergal's
and then
watching
maybe
this.
a second person.
Shout out to Fergal who's
Shout out to
editing
Ferg.
this.
Ferg, when I reckon I've got a couple of TikTok followers that will watch it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, good on you.
What's the limit on a TikTok video?
No, but I reckon it's a minute. Well, actually,
No, it's
3
not.
minutes
It's like
now.
3 or 4 minutes
But I
now.
reckon people will go from. Hopefully, they'll go from the clip to watch the full episode.
I mean, hopefully
That's the
they
goal.
will. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah,
Like
I lived
Japan.
in Japan.
Yeah.
I lived
There you
in
go. I
Japan.
did it. It's spread now. Japan?
Japan.
I don't know what to say about Japan
Well, I don't
really.
really-
Like
I just wanted to say the word Japan. I don't really.
no, it's good. I found myself now. I've lived in England again for 2.5 years nearly. Yeah, about 2.5 years. And I was talking to someone the other day, like a new comedian, and they were like, "Oh, how long have you been doing comedy?" And I said, "Oh, about 6 years." And I could have left it that because that is the fact. But then I went, "Oh, I should be better than I am by now." Oh yeah, well I started abroad years ago. And she's like, "Oh, abroad? Where did you live?" I lived in Japan. And I found myself like, why are you still saying that to people, Alex? Like, it's years ago now. There's no need to talk about that. I've barely met this person. It's a problem. It's an addiction.
No, it's an interesting thing to say. First of all, everyone does it because you can't ask any comedian how long they've been going because immediately if they do go like, oh yeah, I've been doing it 4 years, but there was a pandemic, like so I wasn't really doing anything in the pandemic.
You got to
because
drop that.
everyone just has that instinct of like, oh, I've been doing it X amount
You know
of time.
what? I actually lie and say I've been doing it longer than I have.
Yes, but there's a crossover because there's a time I used to do that. I used to stretch it to the most I could possibly push it, and now I try and condense it.
Yeah.
Because it's 6 years since I started in Japan, but I'd done open mics before that. I'd done like 1 or 2 open mics about 6 months before. I used to include that time. I sliced that off.
What?
I sliced it off. I sliced that first part off. And you know what? I'm considering slicing off a few of the months there in the pandemic.
It's interesting that you're putting consideration into this at all because nobody really.
I
Anyone
care.
who asks you that question will have immediately forgotten what you've told them, like straight away.
How long was it?
What?
How long did I say? I said it
6
earlier.
It was like 6 years.
Yeah, you remembered. You know now. You're like, 6
It
years.
was 4 seconds, and he
Little
paused.
Alex has been doing comedy for 6 years. I bet you're all.
But then if you
thinking.
add the like 6 weeks that you had done the like couple of open spots before, it's about 6 years and 6 weeks.
6 days, 666.
Oh my God.
The number of the beast at comedy.
Japan. So, what was the first
Hello?
gig? How did you end up doing it in Japan? Because there's obviously a language barrier going on there. So is it largely expats that you're doing the gigs to? What kind of audience do you get? And what
All
are they like?
expats, all fat American men, a few fat British men.
Really?
Yeah, scum, all of them. No, they're all right.
Is
I'm
there a
joking, I'm joking.
Japanese stand-up scene for Japanese acts?
Yeah,
And
Japanese.
was there a lot of interaction? Did you get to know some of those guys or just know who they were?
Do you know Ollie Horn?
There's a lot of questions coming at
Ollie
me
Horn,
right now.
famous Tokyo comedian, if
No,
ever
he's
I've
not.
heard
He's,
one.
he's an
There's a
English comedian
lot-
who lived in Japan. Do you know Ollie Horn?
A lot of questions just flying at me right
Do you know
now.
who that is?
Okay, let me answer all these. First of all, I got started because I'd started a little bit in England and I wanted to do it again. And I didn't want to do music anymore because I was a musician. So I found the open mics, and it was a lot of expats doing jokes about living in Japan and like, you know, taking the piss out of that. Good scene. They just opened a club there, Tokyo Comedy Bar. So if you do manage to get into the country, I recommend going. Is there a Japanese stand-up scene? Yes, Japanese stand-up comedy, in a way there is, and in a way there isn't. They have this stand-up style called manzai, which is basically two men usually, doing a kind of straight man and the silly guy. And there's a lot of slapping each other with a fish and running up and down the stage and like wearing little loincloths. It is bonkers.
Sounds great.
It's completely bonkers. And like they also love wordplay because in Japanese, not only have you got words, sounds that mean multiple things. I wish I had a fucking example of this. But also you got kanji, the symbols, which mean different things as well. And they do a lot of that. And then there's like rakugo, which is some dude in a kimono, like telling a story with a little like, ding, 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 that kind of thing. That was racist.
I mean, it wasn't until you said it.
Now I've said it and it's on the camera. So now everyone knows. Ollie Horn. Yes, I know Ollie Horn. I do. Of course I know Ollie Horn. Ollie used to live in a place called Fukuoka, which is in the south of Japan. And he ran comedy shows there and he did, you know, a lot of shows. And he's ended up doing like, because there's a big circuit in Asia, man. Big circuit.
He can speak Japanese, can't he?
Yeah, he's a good Japanese speaker. I can't speak any Japanese. He does speak pretty well.
He did pretty well in Japan, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he worked in TV a bit. I mean, he did a show about it. He did a show called Pig in Japan that was like all about that. And so he's got a lot of insight into working in the entertainment industry, which I just don't have. I'm just not going to give you any of that. Not for this free podcast.
But we're starting a Patreon, and if you just donate £5 a month,
I'll talk
Alex will
directly
tell
to
you exactly how to get on TV in Japan.
If you donate £5 a month, I will come round to your house and I'll tell you all of the stories. That can be part of your Patreon package.
Oh my God.
I'm so confident that you
gonna
won't
sign
get
up.
any Patreons. I am so confident that will not be needed, that I will put myself in for the top package.
I'm going to
Maybe
set
if
it
we
up.
had- if we
But I'll
had
have that as a tier.
For the gold
And it's going to be the first tier. So every other tier will be like, and of course you get tier 1. No matter what you sign up to.
So that's like
you
the
get
t-shirt.
Alex.
Is
Well,
it?
all I'm saying is if we had better guests, maybe we would get Patreons. But
What?
no.
He's the best guest.
You
He's offered
gotta
to go around
start-
to every listener's fucking house.
Yeah, I'm the permanent guest. You have me once, you have me for life. I'm going to people's houses.
Yeah.
Look, you'll get better guests. Don't
sure
worry.
you will,
I
but-
believe in you guys.
No, you're great.
You're going to do well. I'm a good start. I'm a good starter. I'm like marijuana, you know?
You're a gateway
Gateway.
comedian. You're a gateway guest.
I'm a gateway guest. Get started on me. Have a couple of puffs, you know? Don't breathe me in. And eventually you start ripping me through a big pipe and then you're onto crack
Do you
cocaine.
smoke marijuana?
I don't know. I used to. Yeah, I used to
I've just started.
puff on the hashish all the time. Yeah.
Just taking up weed.
You're going to take it up. It's not a hobby.
It is.
Yeah,
It's not a personality, as many people would have you believe it is.
Yeah.
How do you deal with smoking, Dom? What are you like when you get stoned?
For paranoid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
Do you just start like checking your phone manically? That's like what gigs you got next, like.
well, I'm not very good at getting weed though, because I speak like this. They think I'm the police. I think.
Oh yeah, you are a bit
That's
of
the
a.
problem.
You're a narc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first time I got in the dealer's car, and I said, "Can I? How much do you want?" And I said 20 grams. And he-
20 grams.
And I meant £20.
Brilliant.
I panicked.
How much is it per gram? I don't.
About £20.
Yeah, about
Probably
15,
20
20. I
grams.
don't know. I haven't bought it in ages, but that's quite a lot. That's like a that's
20
like a
grams is a
dealing
silly
amount,
amount.
20 grams.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's brilliant. I used to get in the
That's brilliant.
I used to get in the car of like cocaine dealers, and there was these Albanian cocaine dealers who
Where
would
was
sell.
this?
It was in Brighton actually. Well, I used to live in Brighton before I lived in Japan, and yeah, they were just like at first they're really friendly, and they're all called Albi, because I'm guessing that's not their birth name, because that would be such a coincidence if all of these guys were called Albi
Well, I have a
and
deal.
were from Albania.
My dealer's called Sonic.
Sonic.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like it's ironic with this. That's quite funny with weed, isn't it? Because he's probably super slow, isn't he? Because he's really high.
But Albie could actually be someone's name, couldn't it?
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think it's a popular name in
Speaking
Albania.
of-
Maybe it's not that nominum determinism thing where like people become the job that they have. So like if your name is John Sargent, you join the army. You know, people's names are often linked to them what they become.
Oh yeah,
Nominative. I can't say it, but there's a term for it. So maybe Albi means like, you know,
nominative
So
determinism.
determinism.
Yeah.
Sounds
so
legit.
maybe it's just in Albania, the name Albi means high as fuck. And that just means if you call your kid Albi, they're likely to grow up to be a drug dealer.
So
and
Albie
there was
lives
only a
in-
few of them.
So Albie lives in Brighton.
I'm
Is
not
he
his
free-
friend.
is he
Like
free on May 25th.
he's not a friend of mine. Yeah, I mean, I could
Hard Knock Life?
dig back into the old numbers and be like, guys, I need like 2 grams of coke at the Brunswick, 9:30. You got to come inside. It's going to take an hour. You might see some comedy at the time, but you know, I definitely will buy that off you.
if they bring enough for everyone, it might make the show better.
Yeah, I mean,
Might
maybe.
turn
Yeah,
that-
I don't know though. I don't think cocaine's the best comedy watching drug.
I've never done coke and then wanted to listen.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to like do coke and have someone talk to you.
Well, I've never done coke.
Did you
so
not?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's not ideal.
No, I've been
You
offered
don't need
coke
it.
a couple of times, but I don't.
You're chatty anyway.
I think if you smoke weed and then watch a comedy show, you just think they're making really good points. Then you're like, yeah, that's a good point.
Oh,
You don't
but
think everything's funny.
I'd love that though.
Would you?
Yeah.
Not in the audience though, because they'd be going, yeah, this is good, but they would never laugh.
No, but I'd appreciate a level of this guy fucking gets me.
I hate when people nod at me in the
Okay.
audience. It makes it feel really condescending. They're just nodding away. Yeah.
They're probably just looking at their phone, just like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, this guy's still on.
So have you done cocaine?
Have I done it?
Plenty of time, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
Done a lot of cocaine.
Yeah.
What you
tons
doing
of
in
it.
Japan? When did you first?
Well, I stopped in Japan because in Japan it was hard to get hold of. Because they actually arrest you and deport you and stuff
Really?
there. Yeah, they do terrible things. They threw my. I moved there and was like, well, we're going to party. And then this guy I met, he's part of the gang, and I met him, and then he got arrested. He disappeared, right? He disappeared completely. And everyone was like, have you guys seen, I'm not going to name him on the thing, but like, have you seen like,
Join the Patreon. We'll send you the name.
Johnny Cocaine, we'll call him. No, he wasn't even, he just got caught with weed. He just disappeared, couldn't find him, eventually found him in a prison somewhere outside Tokyo.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't give him like clothes. They wouldn't like let him talk to anyone because he didn't speak Japanese. So they wouldn't let anyone speak English to him. And it was a nightmare. He was in prison. He was in jail for like 6 months, something like that. Maybe not 6 months, but many months. And then he just got deported back to his country.
Wow.
And that was it. His wife divorced him. It was fucked. He's all right now. He's cool. He's chilled. He often replies a laughing face emoji to my Instagram stories. Big up, brother.
Oh, so you know he's come through. You know
Yeah,
he's come through
exactly.
the worst of it.
I'm not gonna.
I know he's doing fine. He often laugh emojis.
That's it. If he laugh emojis at your Instagram stories, for a
Yeah,
start,
fine.
he's got Instagram, so that's a good sign he's not in jail.
Do you know what I really like about this though?
What?
You've given a really easy way to verify exactly who he is to everyone watching. You're like, I won't give his name, but I will give a really clear way to find his Instagram.
On my stories.
On your
You
stories.
can't see
Oh,
that.
on your stories, okay.
I know. I'm not a narc like Dom.
He's bound to
I'm
do it
not
on the
gonna-
posts as well. If he does it on the stories, he'll do it on the
I'm
posts.
not going to grass people up like
I
Dom's
don't-
always
you're
doing.
grassed up.
That's why you're
Grass up
smoking
Sonic.
grass.
Suck it, everyone loves Sonic now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You grassed up Sonic already. Like,
You just
Sonic's
grassed up-
have to go
you
into
just grassed
hiding
up
now.
what was his name? Abby. You just grassed him up.
That's not his real name.
Sonic
don't
is
know
his
that.
real name, I'm sure of
Yeah,
it.
but he's still
Albie's way
operating.
more likely to be the real name than Sonic, to be
Yeah,
fair.
exactly.
No, but what you don't
I've got his business
understand,
card over there.
what you don't understand about Brighton, yeah, and these Albanians, yeah, there's multiple Albies, yeah.
Sonic
And
could be big business.
This guy could be Albie to one, or he could be Sam to another. He's got various names, and if you order from Albie, you're not getting the same Albie every time, and a different Albie's going to turn up.
Maybe Sonic's not that big.
Yeah, there's only
Maybe
one
there's
Sonic.
loads of Sonics. Is there a Tails?
Yeah.
A Knuckles?
Well, I was going to say there's at least 3 Sonics for the Mega Drive anyway. There was like
Imagine if you rocked up into the car and it turned around and it was Jim Carrey with a big mustache, and you thought Dr. Robotnik's here selling me weed.
Yeah, Sonic 2's coming on soon.
That's
First
funny,
time
mate.
I did it. No, that wasn't funny.
So that was funny.
Don't start this fucking again. We're going to have to share the same fucking
That was
clip,
good.
the same preview clip for this one as we did for the last one.
This is the one where we discuss what was funny or not.
Yeah, but what I said actually was funny, but that wasn't. Sorry.
No, I mean, look.
Solid. It was a solid reference.
Have you ever
It
played
was a solid
Sonic?
reference.
Have you played the
It
game
wasn't
Sonic?
funny.
Have you played the game
It was a
Sonic?
solid reference to Sonic, but it wasn't funny.
I'm asking you a question now. This is important.
No,
You've never played the game Sonic the Hedgehog.
not in the past 10 years.
You played it
Since
10
I've been
years
able
ago.
to masturbate, I stopped watching Sonic, I think is the rule.
Wait a minute. So
It's a harsh rule.
you-
Your parents were fucked.
something happened in you where you decided it's time to start masturbating, and you just took that old, like, well, it wouldn't have been a Mega Drive with you because you're only about 10
I was
years
playing
old.
Grand Theft Auto when I was 13, mate. Sonic.
And did you pick up that old PlayStation 2 and you were like, goodbye, old friend?
Yeah.
And you stuck it in the...
Yeah, I placed it in the box in a really somber fashion.
Yeah.
Wiped away a tear.
like in Toy Story. You got a friend in me. The PlayStation goes in and you
I
throw a
think,
load of
yeah,
old
you know
shit
at the
on
end
it.
of Toy Story 3 when he's giving away all his toys to like the little girl who found Woody. It's like, it's time to let them go and let the little girl have them. Dom did this, but it was like, I need a wank, and just handed over all his toys to a
There
young
you go,
little girl.
little girl. I've started to masturbate. Enjoy.
I need to be in my bedroom alone for the next 6 years at least.
Do you know,
There's no controllers because they're covered in jizz. There you go.
The first time I did cocaine was actually with my dad.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot to unpack there.
Okay.
What age were you?
Lie down on the couch.
18?
It's
maybe?
too late for them to take you off him, right?
And we were going
I mean, like
to-
social services would be
we were
like,
going
I know
to-
you're 22, but we're taking you off your dad.
You're just grassing your dad up as well now.
Yeah.
We were going to like this party in a marquee, and then we were at his house, and he just pulls a load of cocaine out on the table, and then we did it. And later on that night, he was like, "Right, see, son, this is what parents should teach their kids: how to do drugs responsibly." That's what he said.
Do you know what's weird? You don't even drink.
I know.
It's just so weird that you just be like,
I drink rarely, occasionally.
you didn't then though, did you?
I did then.
Oh, you did drink.
Yeah,
then.
yeah.
Did
Never
you?
stopped.
Yeah.
But no,
But
I
you got
never-
into coke in a pretty big way,
That's-
so you could still
I never
stop
stopped. So I
Your
would
dad
never,
helped you out with it.
I would
which
never
is
be
good.
like, no, I'm never drinking again. I just don't really like it that much. But if
But
I
you-
go out, I will drink.
drinking. What do you like on coke?
Get quite angry.
Just like, Dad, I love you.
Not outwardly angry, but like inwardly, I just like, what? Look at that twat. Kind of thing.
Well, it's meant to bring out what you really like, really,
dear.
isn't it? Like that's what it's meant
Is
to
it?
do.
Uh-oh.
Well, no, they say that about.
That's
you
not a
can
very
say
good-
that cleanly because you've never done coke.
It's not a very
But you can't
positive
say that
view
to
of
us.
humans.
Well, no, I was listening to something talk about drugs, and they were talking about like
Who said this?
I don't know, some podcast I was
Sure, they're
listening to.
qualified.
They were talking about steroids really, and about like roid rage is a thing, but really, what a lot of those kind of drugs do, and I think they mentioned cocaine as well, is they kind of heighten your personality. So if you're quite aggressive and angry, or if you're prone to that, it'll just hype that up. You'll become that person. So like if you're on steroids and you're quite naturally angry, you'll become really roid ragey and angry. Right. Whereas if you're quite mellow in general, you'll become mellow as fuck.
I think it
you're
hypes
chatty,
up-
you'll become hyper chatty.
It hypes up your insecurities. Cocaine. Like, it doesn't hype up your personality because your personality is dictated by so many outside forces, which you ignore when you're on cocaine. Like, you don't think about those. But the insecurities that you have, I think that's why certain people get angry, because deep down, they're mega resentful. They got loads of chips on their shoulder, and suddenly you're like ready to let that out. And people who don't have that are usually fine, and they're fun and exciting and energetic and things. But like, if you're dark inside, that's me, then you're going to like turn into one of those awful people.
I want to take
or if you're
cocaine
just
on my own.
I think
just wanna do it on my
people
own.
annoy me, and when I've done coke, they just annoy me more. And it's always been in a club, and people really annoy me in clubs.
Yes, people are annoying in clubs.
Yeah.
It's true.
That is
And
true.
it was in a shit club when I went to the shit club in my hometown and did it, and I hated. I knew everyone.
What's the club like in your hometown? Is it like a barn?
There's just one. It's called Neo. It's terrible.
Neo. Neo terrible.
What people say about it is they say it's so shit, it's good. So that's not a thing, is it?
Is that their tagline? Come
it's so
here.
shit. It's such a shit night, but that makes it a great.
No, their
that's what-
tagline is clearly, we're the only one in town, suck it up.
It's always
Neo.
right. That's the thing,
There's no one else.
It's always full.
There can be only one.
Yes. Oh, brilliant.
It's always full, but it's awful.
It's always full, but it's always full. That's another good tagline for this club. There's a lot of good tagline. I want to work for this club. It's all full, but it's always full.
Yeah.
All full, but it's always fucking full, mate. And that's the local
So from
accent.
Newcastle, are they?
That was a farmer
was a
accent,
Newcastle accent.
from like wherever you're
No, it
from.
wasn't.
Taunton or something
Somerset.
stupid.
We're from Somerset.
It's awful, but it's always
How
full.
many clubs are there in Brighton?
Thousands.
Fucking
Really?
loads.
Thousands.
Have
Tons.
you been?
I've been to Brighton a few
You like
times.
it?
Yeah, I love Brighton. It's really nice.
There's a big gay scene, isn't there?
Oh, here we go again. It's with this thing and with this other.
Yeah.
Here we go.
That is a thing. That is true.
That's the thing, yeah. There's a lot of wonderful homosexuals in Brighton.
I'm not saying there's not. But I'm saying there's a big gay.
No,
scene.
you did say
I
that
didn't
there
say
was.
that.
Okay,
I
fine.
didn't say, oh, there's a big gay scene. I said, oh, there's a big gay scene.
No, there is. Brighton has
There's
a
a lot
gay.
of green MPs. There's a lot of green MPs in Brighton.
You know what? I don't know what the situation is at the moment. I might look it up on my phone. But certainly when I was living there 10 years
Can you
ago.
have some professionalism, please?
This is professional. This is me doing the research. The unprofessional thing would be to tell you an anecdote based on 10-year-old information that I've forgotten. Brighton constituency. So when I was there, when the Greens got voted in for the first time, basically there's three constituencies. So there's Brighton Pavilion, which is the middle part of Brighton, where like the middle of town is, and that's where the pavilion is, the castle thing. And then there's Hove, which is like where the rich people live, essentially. I don't know if it went Labour or Conservative, but the middle part was Green. But the other side is Kemp Town, which is where the gay people live. This is where the whole gay village is, all the gay clubs, and like a lot of gay people live there and towards the further out area. And that went Conservative. And you're like, oh, okay, so it's Labour again now. You're like, oh, yeah, okay, so the gay people who have got rich enough to live in that area are like, yeah, I'm gone Conservative. Because people just care about money at the end of the day.
There's another, there's like a social phenomenon, which is like, even people, if they're like quite left wing and they come from like working class areas, if those people like win the lottery or something, they will become conservative really quickly. So even if you've done nothing to work for your money, you've literally just won the lottery, you will become like bloody people on welfare need to pull their bloody socks up really quickly. Like you will just turn like within weeks to be like, yeah, well, I tell you what, there shouldn't even be a welfare state. Then people would have to find bloody work.
Because people are selfish. People are mostly selfish. So they're like, if it's not their money being taken, they're like, yeah, great, left wing. I love a bit of taxes. It's great. And then once you start getting 40% of the money taken, people shouldn't be like that. They should be, okay, cool, that's fine. That's the way it works. That's the way it is. That's what I wanted before when I was broke. But no, people get grabby and they're like, no, it's my money. I've got to keep it. No, I'm going Conservative now. It's just the way it goes.
All I want is enough money to test if that would happen for me.
Yeah.
I don't
Someone
feel-
get this man 50 grand a year. That's not even
I
that
don't
much.
think I've got
70.
much to add to this, so I'm going to use the toilet and come back.
You can't go to the toilet. Oh, yeah, you can.
You just had a foot. Oh, professionalism.
Yeah, you just had a go at me.
You can edit it out.
What? No, this is in.
Oh, is it?
This is definitely the clip
I just really need
I'm
a
putting
wee.
up for it.
Go on then. I've got something else to say about the Brighton constituencies.
Okay.
You wouldn't understand. So go on. Go and have a
I
nice...
want you to tell this anecdote, and then we're just going to do a close-up of that empty seat.
Yeah.
For like the 3 minutes.
Just leave the silence every now and then. What do you think about that, Dom? It's not much of an anecdote, but like Brighton, the only place which has a Green MP, I think, at least it's certainly the most famous one. And it's also, actually, it's a shame old bin man isn't here for this, but it's also the place where you will get bins piling up in the street like you've never seen before. Every time I go to Brighton, I'm like, if it doesn't smell of weed, it smells of bins. That is what happens in Brighton. Every time I turn up, I'm like, what's going on here? Oh yeah, there's another bin strike. Yeah, and you just walk past and it's the worst place for a bin strike. Have you ever been in part of a bin strike? Like you've been in the town and the bin men have had a strike?
It's interesting that you call it a bin strike.
I call it just a bin strike, maybe.
Just the people are actually striking the uses of bins. So it's just fucking out the window, all their shit. So
well, yeah, but it gets that way pretty quickly because the bin people strike and people just keep on putting their rubbish out, obviously, and it happens in Brighton all the time. And it's worse because it's a moist place by the sea and it sometimes gets hot. So the bins get hot. And the best part is the seagulls are just on top of those bins all the time.
Oh, that is great.
Because they have these big, also Brighton, they have these big biffa bins in the street that people take their waste to. So they come down the street and put it in the big bin. And then it just piles up around them, and the seagulls are like strong. They're like 11-year-old child size. They're
because they're well fed on bin shit.
Yeah,
just like there's loads of stuff for them to have at it.
Brighton seagulls, man, they love it.
Have you ever been to New York?
I have.
Because New York, they just leave their garbage bags out in the pavement.
Yeah.
So you can just, if you're walking
sidewalk,
up like
the sidewalk.
Yes. I did think about doing that, and then I just went, don't say footpath.
No.
And then still just didn't go for the right one anyway. But they just like have it just, bin bags piled up on the street. And I'm like, this is shit.
Yeah, and they just shout at each other.
Horrible.
And they're like, you take it. No, you take it.
You take it.
Take my garbage.
I'm walking here.
I'm garbage in here.
Yeah, that's awful.
Yeah, they love it. But then you've got them rugged bin men there with a nice big lorry beeping in the reverse. Like they take those bins and they do stuff with them. We're talking about when you left. Yeah, I was talking about bins. You were a bin man, Dom?
Yeah, for about 8
Actually, sit down and I'll ask you the question again in case this is just comedy gold that needs the recording. So you were a bin man, right?
Right.
Did you ever go on strike?
No.
Okay.
Comedy gold there. Should have thought of a follow-up question before you.
I worked for an agency, so I was never employed.
So you're a scab.
Oh yeah.
So I couldn't have really.
They
gone
were
on
on strike, and then you.
They were on strike, and you were like,
line.
"Oh well, I'm going to go be a cleaner this week."
No, I always worked for a bin man, but I was just employed through the agency as opposed to being employed through the company.
Yeah.
They fired me
Did they really?
because I stopped turning up, which is fair enough.
I mean, that's. Yeah.
They fired me. You putting the onus on them.
Yeah.
No, because I was for an agency, so I never actually had any shifts, but I just didn't turn up to do it. And then I put loads of TikToks up about being a bin man. They got millions of views.
Yeah.
And they told me to take them down. And I said, well, you fired me now, so no. And that was the end of that.
Yeah, fair enough.
I should have
Yeah,
asked for
that's
money.
legit.
I should have said I'll take them down for money, but I wasn't that savvy at that time.
Can't argue with you just putting 2 fingers up to the sanitation industry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm quite proud of you. I'm admiring of
Thanks,
you,
man.
if anything.
But I did work for them for 8 months, so I did my bit. Worked on Christmas.
Well, at
Eve.
what stage did you stop going in? Did you stop going in after like 3 months of
No,
it?
it was
Just
about
like 5 months. of just never showing up?
well, I'll tell you what happened. I worked for them for about 6 months, and I went to London to try and get a job in a gym because I used to do that. And then the gym closed because there was a lockdown.
Before or after you applied for the job?
2 weeks in, when to do a trial period for 2 weeks. Did the 2 weeks, then it closed. And
That's
then,
not a very successful trial
Wasn't
period,
very
mate. I'm not going to lie to you. That's one of the worst trial periods
It was
I've
actually,
ever heard.
it was thriving before he
Yeah.
arrived in.
Yeah.
He
Literally
arrived in
everyone.
smelling of shit. That's what it was. He hadn't showered.
He came in
was
with
like,
banana skin on his head.
and then I moved
He was
back.
like, let's work out.
And I moved back to Somerset and went to work back for the bin people. And then the gigs started again. So I was doing gigs, and I was like, I don't want to not do gigs to work as a bin man. So I just wouldn't. And I would get in from a gig at like 2 a.m. because I was living in Somerset. It's such a long drive. And then I
And you just went and picked up people's bins.
No, because I wouldn't
anyway,
because
you were still up.
be in at 6 a.m. So I was like, fuck that.
You should have just done it then at 2.
Yeah.
Just done the local bin
Didn't have a
round at
lorry.
2. You don't need a fucking lorry. What do you need a lorry for? You just walk around and
the shit
pick
in.
them up.
How many bins do you think I can carry?
Drag them, tie them
Did
together.
you do that? Well, if you were a bin man and you just saw like, I don't know, a garbage bag or some shit that should have been in the bin, did you get the urge to do? Because like back, it's a long time ago now, but back when I worked in retail, if I was in a shop and all their shelves had just shit screwed, like there's just the temptation to just gather them all together or like pull stuff to the front
when I'm
and
not
make it
working?
neat. Yeah,
No.
just the urge of just like,
No.
oh, that needs fixing, and you
No.
just fix it.
No.
No. It's just that's just me then apparently.
You do that and you don't get your hands covered in shit. I think that's the difference.
Well, yeah, that is true.
How much shit was there actual?
But I didn't even that you'd have to
turds?
do it, but just have the urge. Because I wouldn't always do it, but I would just have the like. Sometimes I would deliberate hold back from going. Well, I should just fix those up.
Yeah, I mean,
No,
I don't want to ever help anybody with anything that
Yeah.
I'm
You're
not
not being
getting
paid for.
directly
if anything, you
paid
walk
for,
into
yeah.
shops and just fuck things off the shelves. Just like,
Yeah, exactly. If I'm doing a gig, gets to 10 minutes, I'm gone. Halfway through a joke. If you didn't pay for that 11 minutes,
You don't get paid for the 10 minutes,
yeah.
for the most part.
Yeah. That's why he
mean-
performs the way he does.
I'm not going to lie, mate. You're not wrong.
I'm not wrong, no.
That was sharp. I'll give you that.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
He's very good though, is Alex. You should check him out.
I'm good.
I like the- you
Book
came
him
down
for
here
your
going,
11-minute spots.
Yeah, they've booked me on an 11-minute spot. I'll do exactly 11 minutes. Then you get to hear the end
Because
of that
you
joke.
run over quite regularly.
Yeah, I do.
So-
So that's how good I am, that I do run over because people are like, give me more.
Hi viewers, you can see Alex and Dom in Brighton
Yeah.
on whatever day this is.
You've been doing like 30 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. And,
Yeah, but not a fucking second more.
Not a second more. No, maybe less, to be honest.
You were like,
We'll see.
COVID, babe. Oh,
Yeah, COVID.
sorry.
Goodbye.
Can't even say goodbye.
You don't get to hear the rap.
No, COVID, baby. Go. Oh.
You shouldn't have engaged me in that crowd work. There's no more, no rap for you. I do rap. Yeah, we're doing a show in Brighton.
Yeah. Do a
Um,
rap about it. Can you do a rap on the fly? Is that a thing?
on a Sunday.
Mm.
Do you see rapping in the Bible or
Yeah,
in
it's
any
the
of
Lord's
the
Day,
religious
Dom,
texts?
Jesus.
Can you
Christ.
rap on the fly? You surely can rap on the fly. You can
Well,
rap on the fly.
okay. Um,
Oh, I'm terrible feeling.
what's the what kind of thing am I freestyling about?
Our Brighton show. Where it is. what
No,
it's
that's
about.
that's no good. It needs to
Why is it
be
not?
well,
So
not
if you're saying
about our
if
Brighton
you're saying our Brighton
show.
show's no good, they're not going to watch.
Can
Oh,
you,
yeah.
no, the Brighton show is good. Like, you should come to the Brighton show if you're watching this. But what's my like? You wouldn't like ask a freestyle rapper to rap about that. You got to give something like a wider topic which you can move around in.
Wait. No, I lost it. I was going to do it there. I was just in my head, I was just like, fuck it, just go. And then I panicked.
Okay.
They want you
I'll
to
bring a
go
beat
to the
up.
Brighton show, but if you ask for more than 30 minutes, Alex is a no.
There you go. I mean, that's a good start.
I don't really have the ability to flow, so I'm going to stop.
I like.
I
I
don't
quite.
think you've got a career in rapping.
What?
I don't think there's a. Do you know I
No,
actually wanted to
I
be a
have-
rapper? I want I want to do comedy. That's all I want to do. But if I could choose, I'd be a rapper. But again, I don't think I've got the facilities to do so.
Well, I don't know. I haven't heard you rap.
Well,
But-
exactly. I don't have. I think that's the difference. I think that's the problem. What are you doing?
Seeing if I can find a beat that I can like.
Are you actually doing this properly?
Well, you asked me to do it. Like, do
Yeah, but I
you
didn't
want
think
me
you
to
were
do
going to
it?
find a beat and everything.
Well, I found a beat.
Look, no,
The
please
beat's
carry on.
easy to find. You just look on YouTube and you get the beat. Look, this one's called Versace.
You gonna rap for the whole
90s
thing?
old school type freestyle beat, rap instrumental beat, Anabolic Beats.
Go on then.
So this is from Anabolic Beats on YouTube. Okay. Okay. You asked me to rap on this sofa. I slipped out and slipped on my Gucci loafers to write about the Brighton show, but I don't know how to really put that into a flow. It's at the Brunswick, so you can suck on my dick. It's on May the 25th, so let's get mischievous. Come and see me and Dom Hatton Woods. I think that the show will be very, very good. He does stand-up comedy. deadpan style. I do musical comedy. You've seen it for a while. Me doing songs about COVID babies, trying to run away from dogs with rabies, because that's Brighton. Seagulls munching on the bins, trying to find out where they got the double chins. Fat seagulls eating chips, and old ladies with fake hips. Oh.
That was phenomenal.
That was great.
Yeah, I haven't done it in a while.
That was really
actually.
good.
That was great.
actually.
I haven't done it in a while. I got into a zone there. I was just staring at the recording thing. Thank you very much.
That's going to be that's sliced now. That's going to be a clip.
If that
Yeah.
doesn't sell any tickets, let's just not.
I mean,
nothing
that's content, isn't it, really?
is.
That's good quality content for everyone. Everyone can enjoy that, apart from the dick part. That's not really good for families, but... you know, you can't do a rap without sucking dicks.
Which
you know?
is a shame, because you really wanted the families to come and hear about the COVID babies.
I've got nothing for families in my act. My act
Unless
is
the
very
families like
puerile. Yeah, the families do. That's another thing that's very popular in Brighton. Ketamine.
Is it really?
Oh yeah.
I talk loads about
It was
ketamine.
being prescribed at one point by doctors.
Really?
Yeah,
Great.
just like,
I'm looking forward to it now.
you got a problem? You go to the doctor. It's just a stable
Ketamine.
with a horse, and they're like, "Here you go. Try some of this."
Have you both done ketamine?
I've done ketamine.
Yeah, of course.
Really hurts
I
your
lived
nose.
in Brighton. It was like the rules. I lived with these guys, and I lived with this guy, and so we lived in a house share. Me and three other like my best mates, and two of them decided to move out and live with their girlfriends. This was when we were about 22 or something, and we got some randomers to come and live with me and my mate Dave. So we got these two randomers in, and they seemed nice and everything. Yeah, they were students and they were cool and everything, but they were like, "Oh yeah, we like ketamine." I'm like, "Okay, sure, that's all good. Drugs aren't a problem." But like, so I came home one day and the guy's using the hob, the cooker, to like cook the shit. He didn't just buy it and like get a bit for a party. It's 3 PM on a Tuesday and the guy's cooking it on the cooker. And I'm like, okay, this is kind of cool in a way that he's cooking ketamine at the house. I'm fine with it. No big deal. Don't leave it, make sure you wash that up, because I don't want ketamine in my spaghetti bolognese. So we go on, and every day they're basically like, "Hey, Alex, want to do a bit of ketamine with us?" And like, it's 4 PM, it's 10 in the morning sometimes. And like, no, I actually have a job and a university course, and I'm in a band. Like, I don't need to be doing ketamine with you lot. And then one day I was like, yeah, all right, I've got nothing better to do today. You finally got me. Every day, it's like a sales call. Like every day they called me and they're like, right, okay, we're going to get you on this stuff. And all we do is sat down and they were like, okay, here are these lines of ketamine. And these lines of ketamine were like this long. Now, if you don't do that kind of thing, that's long for a line of cocaine. That would be a really big line of cocaine. But it would be doable for a normal person. It would be achievable. It would really drive you nuts, and you might want to take it in a couple of
So like 5 or
goes.
6 inches.
Yeah, like a 6 inch or a 7-inch beauty. I don't know. What's 6 inches? I don't
Like a
know
foot,
anymore.
like a
This is 6 inches,
half a
isn't it?
foot long.
Yeah.
That's about 6 inches, yeah?
6 inches is half a foot long subway.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's doing a dick bit.
I mean,
It's a dick
long.
bit.
Doing a dick bit.
It's a dick bit. 6 inches is that, right?
Oh, you're making a joke.
You're so
I didn't
stupid. Fuck's sake. And so they do these long lines. I'm like, look, mate, I can't do that because of ketamine. It's way stronger. So I would do these tiny things, right? But if I tried it, and I was like, okay, do me 1/3 of that. So I did it, and I disappeared completely. And all they were doing, right, when they did their ketamine, we weren't like doing fun stuff, talking or anything like that. No, watching MMA. That was the task at hand with this deeply dark, like hallucinogenic drug that puts you in a hole, essentially. And you were in that hole with two men grappling each other on the ground on one of those deep, like cathode ray tube TVs in the basement of a student house.
Did any of these people do MMA?
Huh? They were kind of big fat fuckers, so maybe they could have done MMA. One of them was a rugby guy. I think he was from round your way, actually. You probably know him. I'm not going to say his name as well because I'm not a narc.
What emojis does he leave on your Instagram so people can find him that way?
You're talking about as if
I haven't seen him since.
You're talking about as if you like robbed a bank of a load of people and you can't grass them up because they'll get arrested. There's something I just done ketamine.
You don't understand
Nah.
this life, bro. You don't understand this life. It's rough out here on the streets.
I think you have lived a
On the streets of Brighton.
On the streets of Brighton, mate,
you
it's
have
rough.
lived a life that would surprise a lot of people, I think.
Mate, this is just
I
a
mean, you've done a lot
tiny
of stuff,
sliver
but-
of it.
Yeah.
You don't know about the trouble I've been in. That's why I keep
don't know what
I keep
I've seen.
teasing you so you'll get me back on the show.
But-
And then, Patreon.
Because this is interesting because you don't drink anymore and haven't for a long time.
4 years now.
4 years
Over 4
sober.
years, yeah.
And that is because you felt you needed to get drink out of your life. So the drink drugs balance, was drink always a bigger problem? Like, I could just do a bit of cocaine, a bit of ketamine, a bit of anything, but like drink is what's dragging me down, or that's the shit that's going way too far.
Yeah, well, you know what? Like, it's funny that, because I thought in my youth, I didn't really consider the drinking to be as much of a problem. I knew it was, and I would, from an early-ish age, mid-20s, I was like, I may need to knock this on the head, and I was doing a month off here and a month off there and trying my best. But you definitely always think that drugs are a bigger problem because we consider them to be illegal, addictive, and they have all these things that have been kind of beaten into us over the years from the experts and society. So I always thought that was a problem. When I moved to Japan,
Sorry.
someone just
Stop
that was a full-on gurgle right
you-
there. I don't think the mics have picked that up, but that was a real gurgle. Got to eat breakfast, all right, before these
I haven't
things.
eaten yet.
So when I moved to Japan, like I said earlier, it kind of cut out that side of things because it was the risk of getting deported. I didn't want to do that. So I just thought, you know what? I'm going to knock this on the head. And I stopped using drugs really at all. And then I just went heavy on the drink. And what a lot of people don't realize about booze is that it's always there. It's always there. And it doesn't seem like a problem because everyone's doing it and it's always around and it's easy and it's free and it's cheap and it's whatever. It's not free. But
it is if you're being brought out. Like, you could be, if you work for a company and they're
You're
like,
a comedian.
we're going to bring you all out. Yeah, if you're a comedian, you might get free drink at each gig.
Absolutely.
Or every act gets 2 free drinks or whatever.
I had a rule once where I was trying to slow down my drinking. I was like, right, I'm only going to drink free drinks. That was my rule. I'm not going to pay for a drink. I'm only going to buy drinks. I'm only going to drink things that people buy for me or that I get at gigs for free or that are free in any other capacity. And that's a stupid idea.
And you learned how to be very charming very quickly.
That's it, 'cause,
Your
yeah.
level of charm just shot through.
I'm like, right, where can I get free drinks tonight? Like, what's the free drink event that I can go to? Like,
Would you pay for a ticket that got you free drinks? Was that okay?
no, I don't think that would be okay by my rule. I can't remember
What
how
bar
that
would just
went
give
in my
you free
rules.
drinks?
Well, like, I did. There were a few places like my friends worked that were completely unsupervised where we used to get free drinks. But it's more about gigs. So I was gigging a lot in bands. So you turn up and, sometimes they've got a couple of crates of Fosters. And like, you think, okay, three cans of Fosters will be fine. But then you're like, oh, I'm on the way now. So then you just like pull the wallet out and break your rule. And then just like,
How many
drinking
nights a
whatever.
week would you gig in a band?
We gigged a lot. We gigged like 2 or 3 nights a week, maybe
you
4
still
nights,
go
depending
to
on what
work?
it was. Yeah.
So would you get really fucked up and then work?
Well, I was at uni for a while, and then I was
In Japan?
working. No, so band
in
was in
Brighton.
Brighton. Band was in Brighton. In Brighton, at that time, everybody was in a band.
Really?
Everyone I met. Well, someone's trying to jump in. Someone's trying to
Someone
break
started a
in.
band from the
I want to hear more about the band stuff. Ding, 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 ding. So in Brighton, like especially the first few years I was there, everyone I met at the party, I'm like, so what do you do? Like, well, I'm in a couple of bands. Yeah, I play drums in Sweet Picnic, and we're doing pretty well. Playing the Hope soon, and then I also play the keyboards in Boss Lemon Boys.
Brunswick?
Yeah, the Brunswick is a great venue, often for comedy and music.
On Wednesdays
25th.
at about
On Wednesdays, around 9 o'clock, and particularly the 25th of May.
Not
yeah.
sure why. Just might be there.
Not
Might
sure
be
why.
there.
It could be something good going down. But everyone was a musician. All my friends are musicians for the most part from Brighton. And I played in bands there. I played in Mean Popoline, Justice Force 5, Glossy Coat, all the weird band names that you would expect.
They're all your real band names.
Yeah, big time.
How many of them did you come up with? Did you come up with Glossy
I
Coat?
came up with Glossy Coat. That was my band. I was the singer in that band, so that was like my baby. Didn't last very long. Justice Force 5 was not my idea, but that's probably the most interesting one to look up on Google. So if you want to look that up, Justice Force 5, you'll find some interesting shit going on with that. And Mean Popeline was a bit of a compromise. If you can believe,
Mean
that was a
Popeline.
compromise between two people.
Yeah. They thought all the other names are shit, so we got to go with Mean Popeline.
Yeah, I wanted Mean Freak, which is, I think, a better name still to this
I
day.
prefer Mean Popeline.
Do you prefer
I'm gonna
Mean
say-
Popeline?
I think Mean Freak is the kind of band name that loads of bands could come up with.
That's really annoying.
I just feel like loads of people could sit down and go, what's a band name that's quite cool if we're going to do
Yeah.
Whereas Mean Freak, it's like a lot of... Mean Popeline is something that loads of different bands separately could be knocking names around and only one would come up with
They're
Mean
never going to
Popeline.
come up with
I would
that,
like to
yeah.
put into context. I said that's really annoying because the people probably can't hear that.
No, they
So
probably
it looked
can't.
like I was just saying what Kieran's saying was really annoying, but that's not
Yeah.
what. I
There's
said.
some-
Just like so annoying that he has an opinion on
Yeah.
Mean Popeline. the
Don't-
very idea that he
Kieran
would have an immediate opinion on Mean
You're
Popeline.
giving feedback and his opinion. Oh,
so
I'm fucking-
annoying.
On band names, as if I have a fucking clue about anything.
there is someone banging what sounds like supermarket cages around in there. But
They
the
want to be.
thing is,
They want to be in your band.
there's a loading bay out there, and there was one person working in the loading bay, and it was an 11-year-old child in a Manchester United strip,
What was it?
just pushing around the trolleys and that. I was like, is he working? Is he training to work? Like, does his dad work in there and he just wants to be like him?
Hello.
We're back.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're back. We're back. We had a brief break, but we are back. We are back with our fantastic guest, Alex Camp.
Speak for yourself. I didn't break. I didn't have a break. I was
You
stayed in
stood.
character the whole time.
Yeah.
I walked around a bit, but I
Amongst your
did not
shoes.
leave the character that I inhabit, which is me.
Good.
Yeah, I always stick in that because I don't want to lose momentum, when I'm going strong. Didn't go to the toilet, hold that in
Yeah.
because your urine holds
too tight.
90% of your comedy value.
Keeps
That
you
right?
on edge, doesn't it? You know,
That's
you're
it.
like, you're there, you're a bit twitchy, but it adds to like the, focuses the mind because like you're just,
That's it. When the comedy's over, then I piss. Okay? I let it out and I say, it's time to relax and back to normal. And I build a ship in a bottle and go to sleep. Good night. Just looked over to you for approval there.
Yeah.
I was like, what do you think? Daddy, young daddy.
Maybe you
let
shouldn't.
me
What do
tell
you
ya.
think?
Maybe you shouldn't do the geek tonight. You'd be like, dude, Dom. What do you reckon?
What
Everyone
do you
else,
think
sorry.
of this one, mate? It's about another kind of baby. Norovirus baby. It's good in the studio, isn't it? It's
You
nice.
should do a rap in your comedy show.
I have tried a few times. I will.
Do it tonight. Otherwise, you can't have the spot.
Okay. He's thrown down the gauntlet. The challenge has been dropped.
I don't know that you've agreed to do the spot, by the way. You're like
Yeah,
trying to
the-
do a spot and you're like, oh, what time? And now
Maybe.
he's like, do a rap or you can't have it. Like, I'm not sure I want
What
it.
time? Fucking rap o'clock, mate.
The-
Lyrics past beats.
I mean, it's hard to make a rap funny though.
Yeah, well, you haven't done it when you haven't had a piss. If you
It's
do it-
hard to
you do
make
when
a
you haven't
rap
had a piss.
funny.
Because you have to come
Really?
out of it on the fly. If you had to come out of it on the fly and make it funny, even coming out with a joke on the fly is hard.
Not for me, mate.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think some audience members would argue differently.
I've done jokes on flies loads of times. Yeah. House flies, dragon flies, insect jokes,
A third, yeah. The rule of three is difficult when you're listing types of fly. isn't it?
horse flies,
Yeah, there you go. He's got another one.
midges.
Is that a fly?
Yeah, it's a fly,
How
mate.
many types of fly there is? Let's have a look.
Oh, Jesus.
There's shitloads of different flies.
Yeah,
man.
there's
Different
millions.
types of fly.
There's definitely loads.
I
Well, no,
Remember a
there
joke?
Over 86 Woody Harrelson films.
that I was told.
House fly.
Woody
House
Harrelson.
Flies.
We're not on
Common-
Woody Harrelson again, are we?
No, common
Oh,
fruit fly, horse fly, psychedelic, blow flies, fresh fly, cluster fly, blue bottle fly.
Is this an episode of Pointless? Is that
Pollinator
what we're gonna-
rudis,
So
black
the
fly.
ones that
Sounds
didn't
more
score
like
any
a-
points.
Like a
Musca,
Red Hot Chili Peppers song. Blow
Florida,
fly.
drain fly,
Horse fly.
mosquitoes, hover fly, stable fly, I don't really got time for. Oh no, I could have got through them all. No, I've lost my. Lost
So
my
me do a rap about flies.
Yeah, go on, get the beat out.
Horse flies,
No,
blue
get the
bottles
beat out.
landing on your shit. Other flies always landing on your shit. Every kind of fly just lands on shit. It eats a bit of shit, then it flies away. That's flies.
No. Sorry.
Have you had a piss in the break? It sounds like you have.
No approval.
You've done me dirty, Kieran. Someone's going to really like that. Someone out there is going to be like, "Whoa, fly humour, finally."
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very good.
Somebody who was
Must be
really
sweaty.
loving that list and was very disappointed.
Yeah.
they didn't
Yeah.
get to the end.
Carry on.
Finish the list. Finish the list. You're so close to the end.
Can you do like if I do either of you know a lot of street jokes? I'm assuming you don't really know any of them. Do you know like street jokes and like? I just remember there was a joke that I heard when I was a kid, probably 9 years old, that my friend's dad told me. I only remember the punchline, and it was the reason it's important now is because it's about flies and Irish people, and there was two Irish guys.
So, 'cause I want to wonder if I can guess the setup.
That's it. The punchline was, "Oh, Paddy, take a look at the prick on that fly." That was the punchline, but I don't
Prick
remember
on
the
that
setup.
fly.
Prick, like the cock, like he had a big
I was going
cock.
to say a brick on a fly would probably kill the fly.
Maybe that's what it was, and they just killed the fly. It wasn't really a joke. It was just a story.
Yeah.
I think we should,
If you can reverse
We've got-
engineer your
Alex,
jokes
we've
from
got
there.
people on here that like flies. You're talking about killing flies. Can you stop it, please?
No one on here is into that.
You don't know that.
I know.
You don't know.
Unless your TikToks suddenly become about
Flies.
flies. Well, that could be
I
bin
wouldn't rule that
related.
out. Yeah, he was. Have you watched any of his Bin Man TikToks?
Have you?
No.
Oh, good.
But I will.
Have
No,
you
I
watched
wouldn't.
any? Because I
Not very
haven't.
good.
I
Only
haven't
because
bothered.
I don't have a TikTok.
A TikTok. Suck a man that doesn't
I
have
don't
TikTok.
have
I don't have
a
a TikTok.
TikTok.
I don't have the TikTok.
The TikTok?
I don't have it.
The tickety top?
I might set one up just to see what it is. I can't imagine I'll post though.
No, it's rubbish. I
It's very useful.
oh yeah.
I've made £50 in 6 months on TikTok.
Well, no.
£50 in 6 months. That's 50 bob almost.
Bob.
Yeah.
50 bob.
You're talking big money now.
What do you mean almost? That is exactly 50 bob.
This is exactly 50
Yeah, that is
bob.
the exchange rate between pounds and bob.
Bob.
Yeah, they're not like slightly
It's 1
different.
to 1 is pounds to bob.
It's actually a 50 bob is 49 pounds.
Oh,
It's like euros. It's just very slightly different.
How could you not know that?
No,
yeah,
I don't know. No.
unbelievable.
50 bob would be a shitload of money now, wouldn't it? Because it's a shilling. Or no.
Is Bob a thing?
Yeah, bob is like slang for a shilling.
Sure.
So a pound is a quid, right? You know that. Back in the day, a pound was like quite a lot of money. And a shilling was more your kind of day-to-day.
He thinks you're talking about 1997 now. You know that you're like a pound was a lot of money.
The 60s.
Yeah, the 90s. I can imagine that.
The 60s
Right.
and the 50s.
Before your time.
Before my time.
Before decimalization, Dan.
Yeah. Decimalization, 1970. I read books, though. I read books sometimes, and they talk about these things.
Good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
A book, Dom, is many,
like a
many
TikTok,
pieces of paper.
but
Yeah.
it's like a TikTok, but longer.
It's hard. It's a hard version of a TikTok.
It's like a TikTok if you could hold it in your hand.
Yeah, and you have to read the words, and the captions don't change. They stay the same, but they're on multiple pages. Don't worry, you wouldn't like them.
No. Not a fan.
This is the character now. Dom's like just stupid, and we're here to help.
Thank you. Carers almost.
Yeah,
He does
I
some
could be a
great
character.
character, though. That's what I admire about him.
Yeah, he never takes a piss in his life.
Yeah.
Are you allowed to drink Pepsi Max on this? Because it might be a conflict of interest business-wise.
What is that?
If Pepsi want to send me like a few crates of Pepsi Max for drinking it on our show,
I'll
they are
tell you
welcome
when
to
I've
do it.
had enough.
Yeah, they can do that.
Just a rack here.
Do you want me to do that thing that sometimes do on really shitty TV shows where they like just really have to hold it really awkwardly so they block out any
Yeah.
like the logo or anything?
Popsy Mux.
You got
Oh, I love carbonated sodas.
Carbonated soda 101. Brown flavour. Something about brown flavour is a good like vibe to it, don't you think?
No.
Okay.
Sorry.
Goodbye. Goodbye. I've had enough of your nonsense.
Look, lot of drinks are brown. Teas and coffees and stuff.
Do you like
Most
Guinness?
drinks are brown, actually, come to think
A
of it.
lot of brown drinks out
Do you
there.
like Guinness?
Right, what's the
I'm all
top
right
drink
with Guinness,
colours?
yeah.
Top drinks colours. Brown or green or yellow?
I would say kind of yellow. Because, like, it's not just large, like apple juice, nice as well.
Apple juice, beer. But what else, though? Like a light tea, like a fruit tea with
Yeah.
no milk.
Yeah.
So yellow.
Yeah.
Top drinks yellow.
No, the reality is that
Fanta.
I think black, really.
Black.
Because actually I drink a lot of, like, Pepsi Max. And
What is Pepsi Max, though? Is it black or brown?
I would have said it's black.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's very light black, though, isn't it?
It's not like this is black. Like this stuff is black.
Yeah.
Is it black or is it brown? Are we saying black is a category of drink?
Yeah, I'm saying black.
You agree?
Mm.
Okay, fine. I'm out.
I'm saying Coke.
I'm overruled.
Black.
Coke's black.
It's not your day today, is it? mate?
Pepsi's black. Black tea, black.
Black tea. Oh, it's without
Yeah.
milk in.
Yeah, without milk in. So that's black, is it?
Yeah. Coffee's
Even though it's a
brown,
deep
though.
brown.
Well,
But it's
Whoa! Hold on. Coffee is brown. What about black coffee?
no, probably black. Yeah, because black, yeah.
I mean, it's literally called black.
coffee prior to milk is probably black.
But is a coffee with milk white or is
Imagine
it brown?
Coke with milk in,
No,
that'd be
it's brown.
disgusting.
Coke with milk. You never had a black cow.
No. I had a Coke float.
A black cow. Coke with milk.
It's really a thing.
Yeah, you've never had a black cow.
No.
It's a real drink.
No, never had that.
Is that Danny coming in?
Is that Danny?
Oh, it's just a ghost. It's all right.
That's all right, man.
Oh, it's just this guy.
Oh, it's just this guy.
It's one of Danny's podcasts.
Ah.
One of Daddy's. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to be in a podcast?
It's not very good. You could zhuzh it up a bit.
We can probably finish now then if you want.
It's got sufficient flow that we can just
Is there
pause.
anything else we want to cover?
I
We
don't
talked a
think
lot
so.
about Brighton. We actually achieved that, didn't
I
we?
think it's been a good episode, I'll be honest. We've got about an hour of stuff. Take out the...
Take out the fluff,
Yeah.
the break.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? We've managed to talk a bit about Japan. We've talked about some of my history in the game, and I'm very happy with this. I think it's turned
What
out
were
well.
we talking about before the door opened?
Oh yeah, the colours of drinks.
Yeah, I think we
Number
can leave-
one
that
is
was going
yellow.
nowhere, we can leave that.
Yeah, that was going on. I do feel like we should try and have a closure on something.
Okay, so number one drink colour yellow. Second in the charts, we're going from the top down. Unusual. 2 is black.
Yeah.
3 coming up close behind is all the browns.
Yeah.
All the brown drinks. What comes up behind that though? Because we're in green and red territory here.
Well, no, orange, really.
Oh, so you were putting orange and yellow separately?
Well, I kind of was just...
But what drink is yellow, really? There was Fanta's orange. I suppose you get like Oasis is yellow. The yellow one.
Oasis and Fanta are the same colour.
Are they though?
What colour is Red Bull? Is that yellow or brown
It's like a
or orange?
like a strawberry blonde.
Strawberry blonde.
No, it's like
This isn't a ginger person who you don't want to offend.
even know-
This is a drink.
I don't even know what colour Red Bull is, to be honest.
You just drink it out of the can and don't question it.
It's like a dark orange, isn't it?
You never had a vodka Red Bull?
Yeah, of course I've looked at Red Bull, but it's not a colour, really, is it?
You looked at it?
Yeah, I didn't drink.
Or you
it.
just... that would have been entertaining.
That's why I just know what colour it is. It blinded him. He was like, what colour is that?
Oh, man. So, top. So we'll do the
Of
countdown.
orange and yellow together.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Really, the only 2 colours left are green and red. So which one's five?
There's no red. Oh, red Fanta. That's a thing.
Red?
Iron Brew was orange. It's a good point, I think.
It's important to say.
Do. Fifth, every other colour. Coming in at number 4, it's brown.
Up from number 7.
Up from number 7, it's up to number 3, it's black. I think I've missed something out. 2 and 1, sharing the top spot, orange and yellow. Drinks colours. Down.
We need to do a rap about drinks colours.
Okay.
With a beat.
Okay, sorry.
Some people think that we don't deal with the big issues here. I think that this is just frivolous bullshit.
No one thinks that, though, do they? No one's ever said that.
No, nobody thinks. Nobody said anything about this.
Because it hasn't started yet.
Yeah, we haven't released any episodes yet.
No one said anything about it yet, but they will.
Yeah.
And they will say those things that
Yeah.
you
Let me see
said.
if I had any TikTok comments on the video I put up.
Is there any TikTok comments? Okay. We're sitting here talking about the colours of drinks. I'm throwing in everything and the kitchen sink. Teas, coffees, fizzy drinks and more. I want to talk about them, you dirty ass whore. Tea's brown. That's not to be argued. But then I might try a little bit of something stew. I couldn't rhyme. Fucking argues too hard to rhyme. What am I doing? I had a little coffee and the coffee was black. I put some milk inside and then it all changed back to brown. I went all around the town. I said, what colour's this? They said, colour of piss. That's the top colour of any drink. It's ironic that when you think about it, tango, beer, others, everybody likes to give those things to their mothers as gifts. Lovely drinks. Mums love tea as well, I think. I rhymed the same things again. This is not as good as the first one, really, is it?
But it was good.
I'll tell you what, though, if we end it
I enjoyed
there,
it.
it's a very wholesome end because it's ending on you being like, buy nice things for your mother. Buy nice things for your mother. Word. And then just end. And then that's great.
But do remember Father's Day is coming up, everyone.
Oh, we didn't
in
get
1
any
month.
comments for the TikTok, actually.
Or we, instead of ending on something wholesome, we can end up with, oh, nobody's commented on the thing. Just cut. Right. Thanks, Alex. That was
You're welcome.
wonderful.
Thanks,
Thank you
guys.
so much for coming back.
Much obliged.
Much obliged.
Much obliged.
Alex.